What are we doing today? Let's talk about what we're doing today. Let me post that and pin it. Pin that comment. Okay. Alrighty. Wow, we got a couple people on Facebook already, and oh, thanks. Thanks, Rihanna. Yeah, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Oh, thanks, Megan. Hi, guys. Man, you guys are like right there. It's so awesome. So awesome. Okay. Ooh la la. Thank you. Hollow? Hollow. Yes. And I do have hollow on. Okay. Oh, you guys, thanks. It's Diana, right? Did I remember? Diana? Anyway, oh, you guys are so nice. It was so nice. My sister, she's this amazing hairstylist, and she was visiting, and so she's getting to the point where it's like, I don't want to come visit everybody and give everybody haircuts. So it was like she gave it to me as my birthday present, and I am going to turn 49 on August 31st. So, wow. It's like, where have the years gone? It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I saw a couple questions come in. Rhiannon. When I do the overnight hydration, I only do it during the day for a couple of hours, but my C curve is gone after I do it. Is that supposed to happen after about 2 hours? It goes back to normal. Normally your C curve shouldn't change all that much. So it makes me wonder, do you have a really sharp C curve, like really, really? Or are your nails flatter? And then the other thing that I would ask is, what gloves are you using? If you are using nitrile gloves, the other thing is, are you using our lotion stick or some sort of balm? Kind of, you don't want anything with water in it, because water will make you sweat. And then that means water is getting into your nails, and it would flatten that out, just like when you get in the shower. So I hope that helps. And maybe you'll probably chime in and give me my answers. Yay, Kate's painting her nails. Good job. Aileen Cruz, she says, I'm new. Welcome, welcome. Stars says, I was just putting my oil on my nails and then I got the notification. Yay, good job, you guys. See, it's a great time to oil your nails. Hey, Cammie. Oh, you guys are so nice. Love you, love the hair. Do I watch Simply Nailogical? Yeah, I used to. I haven't watched her as much. I really, really loved it when she did, back a few years ago when she first started out, and she was doing a lot more nail art, because she's so creative. So, and then, our business has grown so much that I don't get to watch as many YouTube videos and stuff as I would like to, but c'est la vie. I actually think I have more fun doing these lives than catching up on YouTube videos. So, okay, let's see if we've got any more questions coming in. Oh man, the white text and me not wearing glasses because it makes massive glare all over. Sometimes I'm like, can I read that? I've learned so much from you about skin and nails. Thank you. Oh, you guys you're so good for my ego. Love the hair. Yay. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you. I don't know what am I going to do for my birthday? You know what's interesting? Birthdays, Mother's Day. I find that most moms would like to go away from their children, which is very interesting, because for like Father's Day, they want to spend more time with their children, because obviously most fathers are working. So, yeah, so it's interesting. I have no idea. Haven't even thought about it. Probably spend time with my horse. I'll probably give him a bath. That would be a good birthday present because he's pretty dirty right now. Somebody said I miss the old Simply Illogical too. Yeah, she did such great videos, and I wish she'd do more of them. But she's having fun doing what she's doing, and totally cool with that. Not like it's really, it's my opinion anyway. C'est la vie, you speak French. No, that's it. That's all I can do. Ballet. What are other words that we say in America that come from France? I know there's a couple of other ones because Bradley asks me, he's like, what's this word, Mom? Anyway, oh, it was machete. Is that derived from French? Because I bought a machete. Because we went wild down at the end of the private lake that we live on. The south end, there's tons of wild blueberries, and so, but they grow in this, everything, it's like a bog, not like, it is, and so there's just all of this low knee-high brush, and it just, forget going in shorts, it just shreds your legs, all of this brush, and so I was like, you know what, I want a machete so I can hack away at this stuff. So I did. So we might go blueberry picking again tomorrow. Rhiannon says, I'm using a lotion stick. It has no water. And I'm using the gloves you said. But and your C curve is pretty curved. You know, I don't... as long as we're pretty sure that it's not water absorption, my sense would be then that your nails tend to curve a lot, and mine do a lot. So some of you, if you can see that C curve, see how strong that is, and for some people it's even stronger. For Facebook, there you go. I haven't figured out how to quite, they're right next to each other, but anyway, the oil will relax your C curve some. So maybe that's a little bit what's going on, especially if you feel that the oil is being really well absorbed and your tips are turning transparent. That's really a good thing. And you know what? You're welcome to send me pictures too. And maybe I can help that way more. Are the nail oil pens refillable? Yes and no. They're sold to us as a single-use item. They're not engineered to come apart. But we have very, very creative people. Started with my husband. We wanted less pens in the landfills. And so he figured out how to pull them apart. But the problem was with kind of promoting that. And we created a video and, I created a step-by-step page. And the problem with it was that people felt like that was something that we could guarantee. And we really can't, because since they are a single-use item, sometimes you can, because you're pulling, depending on the way the pen is, oh, hello puppy, how'd you get in here? Oh, let me show her. I get to show off. This is the raw, my little girl. Hey, can you say hi? Can you say hi to everybody? This is my girl. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Refillable. Thank goodness for the text that's right there that reminds me. Anyway, so sometimes they just pop apart and they break, and when you're trying the first time, and then we've had people who've refilled them like 13 times. I think that's the most I've heard. So it just depends. But I will send you, if you Google or YouTube search Bliss Kiss and refill pens, you probably will get to several people have made how-to videos of how they did it. So I hope that helps. Oh, Vanessa says thanks for hosting the giveaways. You're welcome. We have a lot of fun doing those, so. Oh, late to the party, but hair is beautiful. Thank you. I know, I like it. It's cute. But I do this this happened a little bit earlier because my sister visiting, but I usually cut it shorter like this for the winter. So it keeps my neck warm. And then I let it get long so that by the summertime I can twist it up and get it off my neck. Vanessa, she's going to do one about nail growth this week. Do you scrape Zeus or shower him? It's crazy, they get slimy. Actually, I haven't even, because our winters are so bad, just wet and muddy. I haven't washed him yet, and then this summer's just been insane. So it's like, I need to get you to the bath. So I will soap him up, take him to the wash rack and soap him all up and see how it goes. And then I will scrape him down, because we need to do that. Did you guys know that, I mean, for those of you who don't know anything about horses, but if they get water, after too much water trapped in their fur, their hair, and they're out in the sun, it traps the water in there, and it can get really hot, and they can get blistered burns because the water's too hot. So definitely have to scrape down our horses and get all that extra water out of there. Which ridge filler do you love? You guys, if some of you have been coming regularly, I have been wearing this manicure, not this actual one, but the purple. I've been wearing that for over a month now, I think. It's because I'm testing like 6 different base coats, and I'm testing for durability so that I can figure out which ones I like the best. And so when you're doing testing of things, you want to decrease the number of variables. So when I did the first one, I just picked this because it's like, oh, it's sunny, let's do a holographic purple, that's Color Club, and then this is OPI liquid sand. You guys will all know the colors, the names of the colors. I don't. And so after I did the first one, I was like, snap, I have to wear the same thing for every single one. So it's a good thing I love purple. So I'm testing those. Have you ever tried thermal polishes? Do you like or dislike them? You know, I haven't tried the new thermal polishes. They're, from what I see, sorry, husband called in. From what I see from other people, the technology of them, the science, chemistry stuff, has improved significantly. But for those people, the big thing is, okay, so what makes a thermal work is you've got the warmth of your nail bed, and then the color change happens when you're on the tips, because those are not nice and warm. So your tips get colder, and so then that's how it'll change. Well, so people who have short nails, you're not going to see much of anything because your nails are pretty much going to be the same temperature. So I usually prefer to do gradients, because then that way I kind of get that effect, but I don't have to, in order to enjoy it, I don't have to stick my hands in cold water and warm water to see it. Okay. Is cutting cuticles bad? All of my fans know, yes, that is the worst thing you can do. Okay, so let me explain what the difference is, because what the cuticle is versus what is the proximal fold. And let me see if I can find a great picture here. And since I do have, okay, so this skin right here, let's see if I can do on Facebook, and so for those of you who want to get the text out of your way so you could see this picture, I think if you swipe down on the text, it goes away. Anyway, so this tight band of skin, that is called the proximal fold. See this skin that's on the nail plate right there? That is the cuticle. So it is physically impossible to cut your cuticles, because you can't cut the skin that's on your nail plate. That's the cuticle. The proximal fold is what everybody thinks of as the cuticle. That skin dries out crazy fast, and which is why when it dries out, then people think, oh, I can cut it because there's can't possibly be any purpose to it. Well, what that skin does is it creates this, it's one of the guardian seals. There's 4 required guardian seals, and this is one of the most important ones because it keeps germs and bacteria from getting underneath and down into your nail matrix, which can damage that forever. So we definitely want to be careful. And so the way to solve that is to make sure that you're keeping that skin nice and soft with a high quality nail oil. So definitely don't cut. And anytime you go to a salon, if they want to cut, tell them no. Nope, don't want that part of the service. And if they insist, get up and walk out, please, because they are creating an environment that is open for infection. And it's not right. I'll just say it nicely that way. Kate says, I just almost spilled a whole bottle of acetone on your chair. Don't do that, Chickie. I'm glad it was an almost. Oh, you guys are still chiming in that you like my hair. Thank you. I like it too. Bugs Bunny elbow. Oh, this sounds like it's a good question. I have some skin sort of on the underside of my pointer and middle finger, and I want to cut my nails pretty short, but I'm scared that if I file that skin down, because I'll damage it. Is it safe? So I actually really need to write an article about this. It's called the Pterygium. Starts with a P, I think, but that's silent. And what she's talking about is, some people call it extra nail meat. I've heard a couple bloggers say that, and that's not what it is. It's your fingernail has gotten pulled out, or the skin is getting pulled out and it stays attached to your nail plate. And so actually, you could, when you're in the shower, you could very gently push back on that just a little bit. But Doug has said you never want to cut that skin. It's gonna be one of those, if you want them to be short, you're gonna have to just cut to that, and then probably every couple of days just sort of keep filing that back, and the body's natural response will be to help have that recede. So but I think I need to do an article about this, because you're now the 3rd person who's asked me in the last month. So, and it's understandable to be scared, because actually it's going to be really painful. So I would just trim them as close as you can and then file that last little bit, and hopefully that works. I don't know, because I think I get a little bit of it on my thumbnails, but it's so small that I'm able to just sort of gently push back when I'm in the shower, and it's okay. But you definitely so for the rest of you, if you come in the middle, or you don't want to push back on this. A lot of people, especially, they'll take a sharp tool and they'll dig under there to clean out the dirt that settles into the sides. There's no way to dig and not push on the Eponychium, which is right there where the last little bit of skin, where before your nail leaves your fingertip. And so if you keep pushing back on the Eponychium, the body's natural response is, well, okay, shouldn't be there, so we're just going to retract it. And so you really don't want to do that. It makes your nail beds look shorter, can potentially make them stay permanently shorter. So definitely want to be very careful. Let's see. Bobby, yeah. Oh, you guys are so nice. Are acrylics bad? Matea, that's a great question. All of the products that are available to us, except for something called MMA, and it's big long words, start with M, and A, and that is a salt. It's the liquid part of acrylic it's very, very bad. And it's used a lot in China and Vietnamese shops. A lot of our Vietnamese shops here, they still use it because it's incredibly cheap. The problem is that it's really, really a dangerous chemical. But if it's just all of the other things, so our acrylic, our soak-off gels, our hard gels, even our nail polish, they're all fine. I think the biggest issue with acrylic is actually the people who work with it in the salon. They need really, really good ventilation. And because they're filing down that acrylic, they need to be able to wear a mask and keep that dust, keep from breathing all of that dust. So they wear a mask, or what's even better is if you go into a salon and you see all kinds of tubes and different kind of ventilation things, that is a great salon because they're taking really, really good care of their employees by making sure that that environment that these people are in 8 hours a day, every day, that they're doing their very best to keep these people healthy. So that's a really good way to tell if you are at a really good salon. So are they bad? No. What's bad is the fact that it's a very small percentage, probably about 20%, maybe 30% of the nail professionals actually get continuing education, because you do not get all of the education of everything that you need for nail structure, product chemistry, technique, all of these things. If you're not doing continuing education with the different companies that create these products, then you're doing things on old methods. And so 15 years ago, they did need to file down 50% of the nail plate in order to get acrylic to bond to the nails. Now, and like with gel, any of the gels and acrylics, they barely need to rough up and basically remove the shine off of the nail plate. So if they're going to take an electronic file to your natural nail, walk out. Let me think of all the ways to tell you to walk out of a salon. You never, ever, ever want an electronic file used, and those are the ones that look like Dremels. You never want that used on the natural nail plate. They should only use a fairly fine, not a coarse file at all, but a fairly fine one that's just going to take that shine off, rough it up just a teeny bit, and then the products bond. The chemistry has been improved so much that the products bond really well to the nail plate. So those are the things that, in terms of applying acrylic, are really bad. And then also if they don't remove the acrylic properly. Usually, especially acrylic is one of those things that you're pretty much married to it for as long as you're going to be doing it, because the very best way to keep it going is to go get fills, because there actually is, so the product chemistry with and how to do acrylic really well is not my strength, not my knowledge very much, because I'm not a nail professional. I have no interest in doing that. I have way more fun writing and talking to you guys. So since I'm not a nail professional, I'm not able to give you really that information on how to properly remove them. That's another thing I should ask Doug. So the big thing is really when they're grinding down your nail plate, and it's not necessary anymore. So it's not the product, it's the nail tech. Oh, somebody says you love our company. Thank you. You guys are so nice. Loving the new haircut. What's my favorite nail polish brand? Great question. Great question. I can't say that I have a favorite, but I think that one of my favorites is the Sally Hansen line. I've been pretty happy with all of the Sally Hansen different types of polish that they have. I think they're an underestimated company, and people think that since it's sold in drugstores that it's not very good. I know Doug Schoon talks about we shouldn't buy cheap polishes, that you really want to stick with salon quality type polishes. I think that that's incredibly important for salons. For the home consumer, DIY person, you know what? We get to pick and choose what we want and find what makes us happy. And when I have a lot of the less expensive polishes, because when Corey got laid off in 2012, and actually it was like the year before, when I discovered the whole world of nail art and nail care and just the massive variety of polish and everything, I was, on a more limited income. I have 4 kids, and so I didn't have tons of polish money. So I would go to the drugstore and pick up stuff that was on clearance or on sale. And so I have a lot of Sally Hansen, and I really, really like it. I've been incredibly pleased with the consistency. It's not thin, it's not too thick, it's just right. The durability has always been really, really good. I have had no staining except for one. I think it's one, and it's a crazy purple. I think that's one. But so far, otherwise, have not had any issues. So, and you know what? I've had salon quality polishes stain my nails. So I don't think that ignoring the drugstore brands is a way to stop staining. I know I'm digressing. So let me come back. I answered that question of what's my favorite. I don't have a complete favorite. Hydrea, good to see you. Purple's favorite color. Somebody else's purple's their favorite color. I used to think that royal blue was my favorite color, and then I didn't like a lot of the blue polishes. So, and red used to be, I must have had like 30 reds before seeing all of these amazing colors that have come out in the last 15 years, whatever. So, yeah, it's wild. It's just wild. To the Hardeners, China clay and China glaze, polish actually harden nails. I've never noticed any changes in my nail strength or flexibility when I wear that brand. That is such an awesome question, or statement. Nope, there's a question in there. China clay, that's interesting. Hardeners. Okay, so hardeners actually, so they have ingredients, they have resins that are stronger and have more cross-linking polymers and things. I'm not a chemist, so don't hold me to all of that. Anyway, so there's more ingredients that help hold your nails tighter. And so kind of like the way a corset works on a woman's waist. So it holds all that in nice and snug. And so that's what nail hardeners do, nail strengtheners. And so the problem with them is that everybody thinks that harder is stronger. No. Yes. No. Yes. So really healthy nails are a combination of strength, hardness, flexibility, and something else. There's 4 of them. But you can't have just hard nails or just flexible nails. You need to have, they need to be a combination of all of them. And so when you've got dry, brittle nails, and then you put a hardener or a strengthener on them, they're going to make them harder. And when you whack them into something, then they are not going to bend. They are going to snap, and you're going to be in a lot of pain. And so nail strengtheners can actually be really good for people who are having a lot of trouble getting their nails to grow past their tips. But So I can definitely recommend them if people are having problems with short nails and trying to get them a little bit longer. But if you've got nail tips, the last thing you want to do is put a nail strengthener on there because they're just going to break. And for me, back when I was doing that, unfortunately, they break way back here and they bleed, and it's not fun. And in terms of the hardeners actually having a long-term effect, no, they don't. There is no, okay, so if we think about this, even with polishes, there's so many polishes with vitamins and keratin and all of these things, and polish companies try to basically, it works. They dupe us with the marketing claims of that it has this because it's going to moisturize your nails. And well, okay, so maybe you put vitamin E or some what's the oil that's really popular right now, the and y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the one that's like all the rage right now. You can put those in polish, but what does polish do when it dries? It argan oil. Thank you. Thanks, Maria. All of those ingredients are trapped in your resin. They're trapped in the polish. How are they going to get to your nail plate? And then here's the other thing. Your nail plate is dead. So just like your hair is dead, there is no way to heal your nails or your hair by putting some sort of vitamin or oil in polish. It's not going to work. So I hope that helps, especially when you guys are looking at those boxes and bottles and all the claims that they seem to make. They don't. They just don't. And it's annoying. It's really annoying. And as you get more educated and then you start to see how much of it is out there, then you get more annoyed. Okay. Thinking maybe they mean it hardens the actual polish. Oh, if I answered the question incorrectly about hardening the nail hardeners, if you're talking about if it hardens the actual polish, chime in there and let me know. Hey, Lady Teresa. Miss talking to you, Chickie. You guys, Rhea, you're never, ever, ever bothering me. You're not bugging me. It's when you guys email me or text me or direct message me. Sometimes I'm not so great at getting back to you right away. But you guys are never a bother. I think only the stupid questions are the ones that people don't ask. So if you don't understand something, as many of you know, I've written over 80 articles at this point in August of 2017. Most of the questions, they've been answered in blog posts, and I am happy to send you, my team is happy to send you, if you email us, they will direct you to the right articles so that you can get there really fast. The other thing is, especially if you're curious, just think of the main keywords and go to Google and type in nailcarehq.com and then also those keywords, so like yellow nails or chipping polish or nail hardeners, nail strengtheners, any of these kind of whatever random thing you've got going through your head and you're like, I just want to know about that. Go to Google, put that in, Google will deliver the article that I wrote for you. So, okay, so Rhea, get back to you. Let's send an email with photos and how you're about your C curve. Can you help? Yeah, Rhea. Send that to info@myBlissKiss.com if you didn't already. I'm sure you did. One of our team members who is really good about staying on top of the emails and stuff and directing ones to me, he's been sick for 2 weeks, so he's just barely getting caught up. I know some of the other team members tried to pick up the slack, but so email again and say, Anna told me to send this. Forward it to her right now. And also, if they can send me a text too to answer that. Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. You guys are so nice. Need to find the price of your wonderful kit that includes just about all your products. Oh, yay, Marianne. Some of you, we posted the video and we've almost got the product ready. It's almost there because we want it to be ready for back to school. And what she's talking about is our ultimate Bliss Box. And we just realized that as our product line has gotten bigger and bigger, it can be very, very overwhelming of what do I order? And especially if you've got a birthday or even Christmas coming up or just starting school and going off to college and you're like, Mom, this is what I want. I want you to go and I want you to order this and this and this and then that, and it gets overwhelming for parents. So we were like, you know what? Or even if you're coming to our site for like the first time and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I need? Do I need the oil? Do I need the lotion stick? Do I need stamping stuff? Do I need... And so what we did, we're like, we have to put this together so that you can have all of those. So Marianne, watch the feed and make sure you're on our email list. And we will let you know as soon as we launch that. So it's got everything in it. So you just need to go to your parents or your husband or yourself and just push that product and you get everything. Why did Christine stop using Simply Peel? She used to praise it so much. So Christine of Simply Nailogical. I can't tell you why, because we're both so busy, we haven't been chatting. So that I don't know. I do know that she's been looking for alternatives for people, and she had been trying the nail aprons, the little stickers that go around. I know I've seen a few videos where she's used those. Can't tell you why. All I know is that we still love it. The other thing is, I think I heard in one of her videos she was talking about she was working on her own nail oil, which doesn't surprise me because imitation is the highest form of flattery, so that's pretty cool. So I think what she's doing is now that she's established herself as such a huge brand, she's getting people asking her to create things. That can only be my guess. I do not know for sure, but so that's pretty cool. She's created this amazing brand for herself, and so it's like 3 million followers or more. She may be up to 4 million by now on YouTube. It's just like, wow, that's impressive. So, can you use vinyl gloves for the overnight hydration treatment? Yes, you can use vinyl gloves. Some people have said that somebody used rubber gloves and said that it just absorbed all the oil. So that was kind of a waste. So yeah, I like nitrile. People who do not have an allergy to latex, you can use latex gloves. The ones that we're about to start selling are pink. Do I have one? I have one somewhere down here. Yeah, these. I love, love, love them. And actually we have a contest. Contest is not over yet. Today's Friday. It's running today. For an overnight hydration kit, and eventually we're going to start carrying that as well. We're trying to pull it all together and get all of the things ready. You guys don't realize how long it's like, oh, let's do this product. Well, now you got to create the copy, and you got to create the web page, and you got to get the pictures taken, and if the pictures have a background and they need to have the background whited out, then you hire somebody to take out the background and all of these things and pulling it all together. And this is why I go, oh, I wish I could just go and it's all done. Anyway, These gloves, we're going to start carrying them. I absolutely love them. They're like twice as thick as normal nitrile gloves. They were created for people who, doctors and nurses, who have to deal with touch chemotherapy drugs. And so these have actually been tested with like 8 different chemotherapy drugs, and they will last for 4 hours before they fail. So besides the fact that they're really pretty pearly pink, I really, really like how they work with an overnight hydration treatment, or just for a couple of hours while you're watching a movie. Doesn't have to be overnight. So, okay, endless shades. But cuticle oil, doesn't cuticle oil go on the proximal fold instead of the cuticle? Just curious as why it's called cuticle oil if it's more going on the proximal fold. Excellent question. Because nobody knows what the proximal fold is, and it seems kind of silly to call it proximal fold oil. So really, that's why our oil is, we now call it Simply Pure Hydrating Oil, because what it's really doing, it's not moisturizing, although basically your body is doing the moisturizing, but I call it hydrating because it's really helping to, it penetrates into your skin to soften it. It also creates a water resistant barrier so that then we're working from both directions. So your body is pumping moisture and body oil up through your skin and up through the nail plate, and then we're doing the same from the other direction. So it's wonderful. But since everybody thinks that this is the cuticle, which is incorrect, then it just, whenever somebody created this first cuticle oil, that's what everybody thinks is the cuticle, and so that's why they call it that. But this is why you'll hear me, because it's so hard to teach people, and I try and use the correct words as much as possible, but until people have been with me and reading and following all along, they really don't know what I mean by proximal fold. For all they would know is I'm talking about the folds in my eyelids. So it's, where'd I go? Where'd it go? Come on, come back. So this proximal fold is, oh, I know where I was going, was you guys will hear me say cuticle line, and that's because this is what people think of as the cuticle. So I still use the word, but I use it to mean back here when I'm using like a direction of, like, if you're seeing black lines go back towards the cuticle line, that I'll use it like that, or white streaks, or your ridges, or a split, that kind of thing. So that's why it's called cuticle oil, because the whole planet still thinks that's the cuticle oil. Is nail glue and silk safe? Yeah, so actually, Inner Beauty Rebecca, you're asking whether it's okay to do like a silk wrap or a fiberglass wrap. Yes, absolutely safe, and especially when you realize that your nails are dead. Yeah, they are not going to absorb the nail glue. The molecules don't work. They can't penetrate into your nail plate. So it's not going to go through and down into your nail bed. And so basically what you're doing is creating this Band-Aid, like just that's harder, and so that you can polish over it. But you definitely do not want it on your skin, because the nail glue is not good for your skin. So just do the very, very best you can to keep it off of your skin. This is why I like, there's a lot of nail glues that are liquid, like super glue, and actually they're almost the exact same formula. I like this one, and I can't get it to be in focus, but it's IBD brush on gel resin. It has nothing to do with gels. It's not a soak off gel, it's not a hard gel. It is, the word gel in there means thick. So it is like a thick super glue. And this is why I like this one. I pick it up at Sally's Beauty Supply here in the United States. I don't know if they're in other countries, but that's what it looks like. And I really like it because it's thicker. And especially if you're getting peeling on the tips, that's my recommendation for filling in that peel. So you just brush a little bit on, fill in that little area that's peeling, and then just polish with your two layers of base coat, 2 layers of top coat. Sorry, it's late. It's 3:45. It's late. Anyway, 2 layers of base coat, 2 layers of color, 1 top coat. So, yeah, I hope that helps, Rebecca. Hey, Jenny. I'm right-handed, but I don't really write with a pen or a pencil anymore, and yet the cuticle area of my middle finger is thick and rough no matter how much oil I use. Will that ever go away? Excellent question. So, Jenny, when you are looking at that finger, and I do not want to flip all of you off, but here we go. So, can you see that, if I do it just right, that there is this big bump right here? Let me see if I can do that for you on Instagram. Right there, there's this bump. That is actually called a... Gah! Where did it go? It'll come back to me. It's not the callus, it's a bone spur. There we go. So what happens is, especially for those of us who are a little bit older and we did a lot of writing in school, the rubbing of that pen or pencil over the years, because it was such a constant irritation, the body's natural response is to add more calcium right there, so then it builds up the bone. So that's why it's called a bone spur. So I've got that because of it, and it really does, this bone spur really affects the way the side of this nail grows in, and it tapers in more, it behaves weird. So obviously a section of that nail matrix is where the nail cells grow back here. That's compromised. So, okay. Okay, so most likely it won't go away, especially if it's a callus and it doesn't take a lot of writing to irritate your skin there. Even if you're just doing a little bit, you're writing in a journal, that can be enough to irritate that skin. So if it's really a callus, and we know what a callus is, it's thickened skin, because especially a lot of people, if you're doing gardening or something here, where you're holding onto a tool, and if it rubs, then you'll get blisters. If you don't get the blisters, the body's response to prevent the blisters is to create calluses right here. And so we get them. We get them on the corners right here, on all sides of the corners of all of our fingers. And the reason it can be the worst on your index and your thumb. The reason for that is, so all of you, this is class assignment here, right? So take your fingertip, your 2 fingers, your index and your thumb, and push them together. So push your thumb against your finger, and what happens? What happens to the skin? Okay, so as you're doing that, you're shoving the skin up into the sharp edge of your nail. And so the body's response is, oh, we're constantly getting irritated. Let's create some more skin there to protect that. And which is why we all tend to get these calluses right here. So the way to deal with that is keep the skin soft with oil, lotion stick if you need it, and then if you've been really good about doing that and it's still just really, really bothering you, take a glass nail file, a crystal nail file. And this is ours, Bliss Kiss. Sorry, it's upside down, backwards. But anyway, so you're going to take it and just super, super carefully, and just a little bit, file off just a little bit of that callus You do not want to get into the live skin. And you don't want to remove the entire callus, because what will the body do? It will be like, oh, there was some more damage that's done. Let's pack on some more skin cells. Let's just make that callus thicker. So it's this fine balance of getting rid of these calluses that annoy the stuff out of us, and also letting the body do its function. So I hope that helps, Jenny. Okay. My room almost always smells a bit like nail polish. Is it a bad thing to be breathing that in all the time? Nail polish or acetone? Because your nail polish fumes should go away as soon as you close the bottle, or whatever's floating in the air, but that should dissipate very quickly. Acetone fumes can stick around a little bit longer, especially if you've taken your cotton and just thrown it in the trash can. Those are going to all get into the air until they dry out. Make sure that you've got a window that's cracked. You just need a little bit of ventilation. Excuse me, you don't have to have tons where you've got windows open and fans open and all of that. You don't need that. But one of the things, people are so afraid of acetone until you learn that our body actually makes acetone. We have a tiny bit of acetone in our body all the time. I don't recommend drinking it. It's not a good thing. But, people freak out about some of these things, and it's really about the amount of exposure, because we get more off-gassing that we are breathing all the time from our entire house. Our carpeting, the walls, the paint, all of the plastics and fabrics and everything that's in our house, let alone, we won't even talk about outside, but there's just more stuff that we're breathing in our house than the little bit of nail polish solvents, which evaporate, dissipate, are gone fairly quickly, and the acetone also. So I hope that helps. Stars says, does eating healthy make your nails stronger? Because I eat poorly and my nails seem pretty healthy. I was just asking because nail vloggers say so. Stars, how young are you? I know I've got a lot of young followers, and so here's the deal. For those of you who are young, under 25, you can get away with eating like crap. Oh, did I just say that? Because the body is, you're just constantly growing. So the body is constantly regenerating and growing, and getting you ready to procreate and anyway, and make babies and keep the population going. So you guys can get away with that a little bit more. As we get older, our digestion it sort of starts to go downhill. So as we're consuming all of our nutrients, we're not digesting them all. So your body's response is to take care of the core, your brain, all of this in the center. And then the extremities are the least of its concern. You can tell I've been talking, I need water. And so for those of us as we're getting older, it is really, it's very important that we eat as healthy as possible. I still love hamburgers and ice cream and french fries. Just not every day. So it is very important that we eat as healthy as possible and that we drink as much water as possible. The other thing, Stars, is that you may be somebody who just naturally has thicker nails than other people. And so you're finding that your nails are plenty strong, and then it's not quite such an issue. There are some people that they definitely have a good 20, 30 layers more than the rest of us. And so it doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want, and they don't have to oil. They don't have to wear polish. They just have really strong nails that just don't break. And that's just the way they are. So, the recommendation to drink a lot of water. Oh, and this is another tip. You want to, the whole 8 glasses a day. Well, Okay, so does that mean a child is supposed to drink 8 glasses a day and compared to a big football player? Okay, here's kind of the general guideline that I learned quite a while ago, which is take your body weight, split it in half, and that's the number of ounces of water that you need to be drinking per day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you drink 50 ounces of water. So when this happened, when I first learned about this, I was like, oh, okay, well, let's just start with a liter or 2. And I realized that I'd been dehydrated for like 15 years. So when I realized, wow, that's a whole, like twice as much water as I'm used to consuming. So I carry around that water bottle all the time. And usually I drink one of those before I even get out of bed, because you have not had anything to drink or eat for at least 8 hours. So you're starting the day to be dehydrated. So that's what I do. And then make sure that I get 2 or 3 more of those through the day. Okay. That was long-winded there. What do you suggest for nails that keep breaking on the sides? Are breaking or tearing? If they're tearing on the sides, then my guess is that your nails are flatter. They have less of a C curve, so rather than curving really tight, they're flatter. Flat nails tend to tear at the sides right here a lot more. And so like this happens with my thumbs. My thumbs have a this is so hard for me to do this, much flatter C curve than my fingers. So you'll notice my thumbnails are a lot shorter than the rest of my nails, and that is because they tear on the sides, and I don't like it, so I keep them shorter. And nobody has said, why are your thumbnails shorter than the rest of your nails? Not one person has ever asked me that. And so it's my strategy to keep them from breaking. And nobody really pays attention to your thumbs. We all talk like this, and so people are seeing these fingers. Okay. Y'all are so nice. Oh, like Papaya says, so agree about the Sally Hansen. So I talked about Sally Hansen polishes are seriously underrated. Oh, Miss Warrior Nails just bought the Crayola collaboration. I'm blown away. I know, right? Those are the Insta Dries. So let me show you guys here real quick. So she's talking about this. There was an entire line. I want to say it's like 12 polishes, and they were inspired by the original Crayola crayons. And so they're very, very vibrant, opaque colors. And I was the same way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have these. But here's why I like them. I don't like them for polishing my nails because my hands are actually, it's hard to tell, but my hands are bigger. And so it actually takes quite a bit of polish for me to polish my nails. And then like I've met full-grown women and their pinky nails are like half the width as mine. So I have bigger hands, and so if I'm using a quick dry polish like this, I can't get all the polish on in the 3 to 4 strokes before it starts to dry. So for that, I don't like this. But for those of you who have smaller hands or you have really short nails, these would be great. But what I love them for is stamping. They have because they are a little thicker, they have a really great consistency for me to pick up that polish on stamping plates. I have never, ever, ever been disappointed. And I have a minute and 45 seconds. Grr! This hour goes so fast. It's amazing. Okay, I know a couple things happened over here on Facebook. Somebody says, I love the Bliss Kiss pen. It's pens in vanilla. Yay. I do too. I like all of our fragrances except Pink Sugar. Sorry, those of you. It's just too sweet for me. It's like cotton candy, and I loved cotton candy when I was little and less now. Overnight hydration, good. Hair looks great. Thanks. You guys are nice. Okay, I'm down to 1 minute. Facebook, I started a few seconds earlier, so somewhere it's all going to get cut off. You can find me at my writing at nailcarehq.com. You can find our products, the Bliss Kiss products, over at myBlissKiss.com. You can find, God, we're well over 60 videos, I think, over on YouTube now. Go to youtube.com/C as in channel /Bliss Kiss. And you, of course, can always email me info@myBlissKiss.com. So, I am going to sign off because usually then it sort of cuts me off at weird, strange mouth poses. So, anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I will be back on my normal time on Thursdays next week, provided all goes well. But stay in touch, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myBlissKiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.